My name is Tunde Kara, co-founder and CEO of Vendease. Vendease is a marketplace that connects restaurants and other food businesses directly to supply from farms and food manufacturers. Essentially, we digitize the whole supply chain network. We take away that fragmented middle of middlemen, suppliers, or sending your staff to the market. And then when you bring structure to anything, you're saving costs. So we transfer those costs to both ends of the marketplace. So the farmers earn more, and then the restaurants also save more on their procurement costs. So essentially that's what we're doing. We're bringing or digitizing those offline processes and bringing them to the online platform that is Vendease. First off, all four co-founders are foodies, and we've been friends for over 5 years now. In fact, two of the guys were best men at my wedding. And then we started a business before Vendease that went belly up. So we're kind of serial entrepreneurs. We started Vendease out of a need. So because we're foodies, food is part of our lifestyle, eating out is part of our lifestyle. And we started to notice that some of our favorite food places were either very inconsistent with their offerings or shutting down. So we asked around a bit, and then we discovered that the problem was procurement and food supply. And based off of our different backgrounds, like I grew up on the farm, I'm good with running businesses. Olumide's parents still run restaurants and hotels, and he used to work with them when he was younger. Gatim is good with products, Wale is good with tech. So we decided, we each had different unique capabilities that could help to solve this problem at scale. So we decided to start Vendease from our first meeting in a coffee shop. Essentially, Vendease has come to increase the pie, which means that there's more for everybody. So on the production side of things, that's the farmers. The farmers make more money because now they have a road to market. They don't have to deal with middlemen, vendors, etc. They are directly connected to demand from restaurants on the platform. On the restaurant side of things, they make more money because now they save more. They don't have to spend as much money as they would have spent without us because costs are significantly reduced on the Vendease platform. That's one. Two, they also have access to buy now, pay later services from us, which means that they don't have to tie down their cash flow to fund the expensive supply that they used to have before. So on both ends of things, we're helping businesses to grow because we're helping them to cut their costs and also to track their spend and increase their profits. We have cases of restaurants who in the 1 year since they joined us have opened new branches. And part of that is because now they can better track their costs and also track their profits. So they can scale better. And because they also don't have to manage procurement themselves, it's easier for them to focus on what they really need to be doing, pleasing their customers, making good meals, and running their businesses properly. On the demand side of things, farmers are able to increase their production because of the data that they have access to on our platform. So for instance, we know what the restaurants are going to buy, so we can transfer that data to the farmers and say, you know what, during this period, you need to be supplying more of X, Y, Z. So we have a case study of a chicken farm who 3x'd their production 3 months into joining Vendease because we help them to get into processing of foods better, produce parts of the food instead of producing the whole chicken. So we have access to different types of data that can help both sides of the marketplace to grow.
That's where the blessing of tech comes into it. So think about it this way. We have data of this business for 17 months, 18 months now. We are able to predict what they need next week, what they need in 2 weeks. If you backtrack that helps us in planning our inventory. So instead of us running to meet up in 24 hours and 6 hours, we know what they need and we can supply that to them on time.
We offer our customers a buy now, pay later system. And what we do is we give them a 14-day period where we procure for them and then they can pay us back in 14 days. Now, before I tell you how we do this, I'll tell you why we do this. Now, for our restaurants, cash flow is so important. You can imagine they need this money to run their businesses, maybe to market. So what we do for them is we buy for them, and then 14 days, when hopefully they've sold these goods, made a profit, they can then pay us back in 14 days. Now we do this in partnerships with our banking partners. We have strong relationships with banks and we leverage that. Then as you know, we're a Y Combinator company, so we have some equity investment that we use to do this as well.
So we use the data available to us to increase the efficiency in our platform. So we deepen our sourcing channels to get even cheaper sources of the food produce. And then we increase our logistics and warehousing capacity so that we could lock down prices for as long as possible, and in turn help our businesses to plan better and to maintain their costs for a longer period.
Tech can actually impact agriculture industry in tremendous ways. At Vendease, we are actually digitizing the entire procurement of agricultural produce, both the supply and the demand side. And what we are doing is to provide better visibility into the whole value chain. Also, we are offering embedded banking with our banking partners, to offer revenue assurance to our clients and suppliers, and also make them to be profitable. Our platform is also providing the needed market intelligence, because one of the key problems is that there is a dearth of knowledge, among the stakeholders. So for our suppliers, we are ensuring that they are having the much needed information, the needed insight to be able to, deliver product, at a price that will be profitable to them. And also for the business side, the business guys, we are ensuring guaranteed supply, with our marketplace platform.
The year before, in 2019, people in Lagos spent $2 billion eating out. So there was definitely a huge market of people who like to eat out. And what we discovered, based off of our own backgrounds and based off of our own eating patterns too, is this demographic of people who would eat out anyway do not have the capabilities or are not interested in cooking food at home. So during the lockdown, even though the restaurants were physically shut down, after a couple of weeks, we realized that the demand on the platform shot up by as much as 300%. Because these same people who refuse to cook at home, who would eat out, and this cuts across different demographics, not just rich people, everybody eats out in Lagos, started ordering food online. So many of the restaurants who were just doing eating services started offering online delivery. And so that affected demand on our platform, and it shot up by 300%. So that's how we were able to survive during that period, because that period was one of our fastest growing periods, because the buying habits and the eating habits of people changed because of the lockdown.
So it's more or less like a challenge for the market, not just us as a company. Like, it grew as we grew. So demand outweighed supply. Now, let me explain what that means. So in Lagos, we consume 4,500 tons of beef monthly. That's about 9 billion. And that's not enough. That's a huge gap for a company to come into that and fill that need. Now, that's not enough, because 45% of that goes into waste already, which we don't account for in the market, because beef can't stay outside longer than 4 hours. The biggest challenge here is, as we grow, we know that supply will keep reducing and demand will keep growing.
So we like to think about it as using technology and data to power food distribution, starting in Nigeria and then to all of Africa. That's what we think about Vendease.
Hi, my name is Tunde Kara, and this is Tech Talks on Guardian TV.